حمزة بيقول إن ده دلالة على توحيد الله سبحانه وتعالى، إن الحاجات كلها بتبقى
بتلف حوالين حاجة واحدة
وشكلها مختلف بس في نفس الوقت هي حاجة، هي يونت واحد، يعني شكل الحاجات مختلفة تماما بس هي يونت واحد. سبحان الله.
المساجد السورية هي اللي كده ولا هذه المساجد مغربية ستايل ولا أندلسية؟
This is Andalusi. Yeah, I mean the origin is from Persia, فارس. والمسلمون تعلموا من الفرس هذا وكذلك من الرومان، لكنهم طوروا ولا سيما الهندسة يعني والاهتمام بالهندسة، لأن هذا كله جيومتريك. يعني إذا تنظروا إلى هذه الأشياء مثلا دائما في الفوارة دائما وأبدا تجد أن هناك 8 في الهندسة، لا بد أن يكون هنا 8. شوف
مثلثات أو يعني
هو لا مثمنات. هذا مثمن لازم هذا دائما، لأن هذا الرمز للعرش وكان عرشه على الماء، فدائما يكون حوله 8.
Hello. Hi. That's why I'm talking to you, because we're doing a program on TV.
We're doing a program, it's called...
We just came from England actually. We started in England. Oh, you're from Belgium? Yeah. Oh, okay. Everybody in Belgium speaks English now?
Well, more or less.
What happened?
We're a small country.
Yeah.
We got invaded.
Cultural invasion. A cultural invasion. The Arabs call that غزو ثقافي. And when you get invaded by somebody else's culture, it begins to take over, like American culture, unfortunately.
Which is your culture?
We like diversity. The spice of life, they say. Variety. But unfortunately, some people want everybody to eat McDonald's hamburgers. والله مساكين، أنا أشفق عليهم، والله أشفق عليهم تماما. أنا كنت مثلهم، يعني والله فأنا كذلك كنت من قبل. فمن الله عليكم، يعني خلاص، يعني أنت تجعل نفسك فوقهم؟ لا، يعني الهداية نعمة من الله سبحانه وتعالى وموهبة. وإذا فعلا بعدما ذقت حلاوة الإيمان أو شيء أنت تريد أن تشارك الناس في تلك الحلاوة، ولكن كثير من الناس يجعلون الدين مرة، ومن يقبل المر؟ يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لما خير بين الحليب والخمر اختار بإشارة جبريل، ولكن اختار الحليب وقال اخترت الفطرة، لأن الولد إذا خير بين الحليب والخمر، الخمر يعني طعمه أنتم ما تجربون لكن طعمه كريه جدا. How do you find this place?
We like it.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Belgium is historically, the tolerance movement in Europe began in Belgium because the people there have a lot of tolerance by nature. Tolerance. Yeah, religious tolerance. You know, in Holland, Belgium. Exactly.
Maybe before Belgium.
Before, but it's similar. You know, the cultures are very similar. So it's sad about now some of the problems that you have, because I know there's a lot of problems with the North Africans in Belgium.
Well, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Not as bad as Holland.
There's many immigrants who come from Eastern Europe. Who experience problematic situations at work where they live. Yeah. It's not only the North Africans.
Do you know very much about Islam? Oh, really? Nothing?
What do you know?
Yeah, seriously, we're curious.
Where do you start?
Where to start?
Do you know for
Muhammad, he knows Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah, Allah. Yeah. And Jesus.
Ramadan.
Yeah, the Muslims, you know, we see Islam as an extension of the Judaic and the Christian tradition.
And we have in Belgium this Arabic European
Liga movement, you know?
Yes.
Abu Jaja?
Yeah.
He's quite famous.
Oh, he is?
It's very big.
Yeah.
Negative
But
or
he, well, in both
ways.
where.
Both ways.
some like him,
It's,
some don't
yeah,
like
but
him?
on the other hand, he's seen as a, how you say it, radical
Extremist?
extremist.
Yeah.
He's trying
But
to
on the
start a
other-
party also in Holland now.
To take over Holland?
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
make,
not-
and
Because
make
it
it,
doesn't work in
and
Belgium.
make
I
it
don't
a
know, but
Muslim
in a way
state
you,
or something?
you understand
I don't
why,
know,
I don't
maybe.
know.
But even Muslim,
Uh,
not
even
all
though we're not-
Muslims like him.
No,
Oh,
that's-
right.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's all parties
He
that
doesn't
have
want
doubts.
the immigrants to assimilate.
He wants them to stay separate.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
It's ambiguous. I mean, I think you have to adapt a little in a way.
Yes.
Because I always try to imagine what would I do if I go to another country, if I am forced to go to another
Yeah.
country because of my status. I mean, I'm not. It's difficult to say here because
There are
I don't
many
have
reasons.
work, I don't have money.
Right.
I mean, or because of war, and I go
See,
elsewhere.
part of the problem, you know, generally humans, if you look at human beings, generally we all pretty much agree on some basic things. Like, I don't want you to aggress against me, you don't want me to aggress against you. That's a given. I want you to respect my property, you want me to respect your property. These are all givens. But then we have particulars, which are different. So for instance, for Muslims, like Christian and Jewish people that believe in certain basic moralities, like relations between men and women. In Islam, relations can only exist within a framework. And if it's outside of that framework, it's not permissible. That used to be the situation in a large segment of Europe and certainly in America, whereas that has changed radically now. So a lot of Muslims are very fearful if we allow our children to assimilate into the culture, they'll get girlfriends and boyfriends, premarital sex, AIDS, herpes, drugs.
Wow.
They really start getting
Overreact,
they really start getting frightened about losing these things that they believe are really essential. I mean, I'll give you a tragic example of this. In London recently, there was a Kurdish man who killed his daughter, literally killed her. Did you read about that? Yeah, it's tragic, and it's totally prohibited in Islamic law. You can't do that, obviously. Nobody would accept that. But that is the type of trauma that goes on, because he's coming from a Kurdish village where they have a whole understanding. And after he killed his daughter, he threw himself out of a window and tried to kill himself. So it wasn't like he was an evil man. He
You had to do it in a way.
he felt, well, he saw his daughter as an extension of himself. That he was the reason for her coming into the world. And he saw her as doing something that was so unacceptable in his worldview that death was preferable to it. The dishonor was so difficult. Yes. These type of concepts were not alien in the West. I mean, we really did have very similar concepts not that long ago. Now they seem almost silly to a lot of Western people. Like, what's the big deal?
A normal communication with people from other cultures that are young like us, and I think we would like for them to have as much freedom what we
To
see
do
as freedom to do and stand.
What would you tell people now they're seeing in the Middle East, young people like you who are seeing it? What's the message you want to tell them now? What would you want to tell them? They're seeing you, you know.
A couple of million
You have
Arabs
so
are
many
watching
people,
also.
It's difficult to imagine what they go through.
What would you want to tell people? No message for them? I know they would tell you, you know, like, I'm sure
We
if
have
they
the microphones and the cameras, so don't push
No,
us.
feel free to say whatever.
You don't have to say anything. But I'm curious, I would like to develop just what's your name?
I'm Caroline.
Caroline? My name's Hamza. I'm actually from California. I'm just curious, because I grew up in California, and I grew up in the 60s and 70s when, you know, the freedom and all of these things. In fact, a lot of these ideas actually came out of that whole period and experience. But my real understanding of freedom is not so much to be able to do whatever you want, but I see it as doing actually what's the ability to truly choose. For instance, when we have impulses, there's a lot of people that are overweight in America. Is it freedom to eat all I want? I mean, is that really do we call that freedom, you know? Or is people addicted to sexuality? They can't control themselves. They have to keep trying to seduce people. Whether
You don't necessarily need faith to have these values, you know. And that's sometimes maybe the thing that we perceive as different from us. I mean, I have the same values, but I'm not religious. And it's not imposed on me by any faith. So we do it because we think it's right and because we want to believe that way.
I accept
That's a very important thing that we feel as young people in the West, that religion is not the source of the values.
We don't want sex every day, but it's not because I'm religious that I will have sex or no sex. It's because of what I feel I should do.
That is right.
I'm not against religion in a sense, but I don't want to have religion impose a way of life upon me. We're all educated and we've been living without any harm or problems.
بس اخذت بالك هون شيخ حمزه شيء ثاني انتبهت له انه لما جاء بيتكلم عن الدين كانه الدين شيء بطال يعني كرهوا رجال الدين حقونا من اليهود كرهوهم في الدين فاحنا عندنا مسلمين
نفس الشيء هذه مصيبه
هذه المشكله
والذي لا نفهم لتتبعون سنن الذين من قبلكم شبرا بشبر ذراعا بذراع يعني هذا هو الذي يخوفنا ان يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ذكر هذا الشيء إذا نحن نستمر على ما نحن عليه الآن في المستقبل قد يكون من المسلمين من يقول تحررنا من هذا
الدين صعب
يعني الدين
ويخوف
هذا يثقل علينا
وابتدى يحصل
صار كثير تعرف ناس أي واحد ملتزم بالدين هذا خلاص يخاف منه ما يحبه يقول لك هذا الدين ما هو حلو عارف يعني بيضايق علينا بيصعب علينا بدل لا يهون على الناس ويحببهم في الدين ويقربهم.
I don't want to have religion to play any role in public life. If you are religious, it's okay if you do it inside your house.
Or in a mosque or it doesn't
in political life.
But not in political life. That's what we not in the laws, you know this.
Do you want your politicians honest, for instance?
Yeah, but we have had a very extreme tradition of Jewish, Roman Catholic politicians, and they did just they made the same mistakes as everyone.
Well, they're human.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with their faith.
No.
Well, it depends.
No, I mean, because in Flanders we have a lot of guilt complexes about you should not do this, you should not do that, and that was because of religion. And now we have freed ourselves from these complexes. And I choose. I'm honest. I'm very peace-loving. I'm tolerant, but it has to do with my human feeling. You said humanism. That's what I believe in, and not.
You believe in humanism.
Yeah, not faith.
Where do those values, do you think, where do they come from?
From thinking, with my brain.
Yeah.
But where did that come from?
Society.
No, where did the thinking come from? I mean, where did those thoughts come from? Because some people...
I think you should be...
What's your name?
Ellen.
Ellen? Some people don't have those thoughts at all. They're like you, they don't have religion, and they can literally, like Saddam Hussein is a good example of that. He could kill tens of thousands of people and still go to sleep at night. I mean, there's people like that in the world. Not everybody has these feelings. But I mean, I'm just curious, where do you think those real feelings come from?